Hi Internet, I'm John Appleseed. Welcome to this week's Cryptic Crossword Apprentice class. The apprentice here is me, of course. I'm apprentice when it comes to cryptic crosswords. I'm an experienced crossword solver when it comes to American-style crosswords, or what are they called? Quick crosswords, I think, in British usage. But cryptics they continue to elude me. I've been trying them for about 3 or 4 years now. Starting with the pandemic, really, and watching Cracking the Cryptic every day, trying to get a little bit better. I have gotten a little bit better, but still not where I'd like to be. So every week I like to do the Weekender Cryptic. This is from the Globe and Mail, which is a Canadian publication. So the English is a little bit less UK-centric for me, although still not quite what you find in the New York Times. And I will record myself doing this every week and just try and progress from there. Of course, you're welcome to join me in this cryptic crossword journey and let me know in the comments how you find cryptic crosswords, what your experience is with them, and if you have any tips for me, I'd certainly appreciate it. What we're going to do, I like to keep these videos under 30 minutes, so once we get started in the puzzle, the timer is clicking. Once we get to 30 minutes, I'll do as much of the puzzle as I can, and at 30 minutes I will stop and start revealing words. And I think I'm going to start giving myself a score based on the number of reveals I have to do, revealing of entire words. I'm going to give myself a letter grade and try and put that in the comments or the title. I haven't quite decided yet. Okay, so I'm going to cross is Dutch River in programs telecast. Dutch River in programs telecast. Are we looking for the name of a Dutch river and we're inserting that in program to get telecast or something like that? For cryptic crossword clues, we need to split the clue into 2 parts somewhere. One side will be a crossword definition, the other side will be wordplay. I don't know which is which here, so let's try another clue. 8 across, alarming changes, barely adequate. Alarming change. We need an 8-letter answer. Alarming is 8 letters. So I think changes is an anagram indicator here, kind of pushed by the number of letters in alarming. If we change alarming, we rearrange the letters, do we get a word that means barely adequate? And I can't see that. I may be on the wrong track there. Let's try 9 across. Thousands scattered around university location in Africa. University is often abbreviated by the letter U. So if we have thousands scattered around a U, do we get a location in Africa? What would thousands be? G's or M's from the Roman numeral? I feel like that's not enough letters to get us a location in Africa. Not sure there. Okay, 10 across, salmon company, hard to love. Coho is a kind of salmon. Yeah, that's probably what it is. So we split the clue after salmon. That is our crossword clue, and coho, C-O-H-O, would be an answer for that. Then the wordplay is company, abbreviated as C-O. Hard can be abbreviated as H, H and S for hard and soft. And then love is a 0. A love in the tennis score would be 0 points. And that can be represented by a letter O. So we have coho, which is a kind of salmon. 11 across, beginning of telephone call with Buddhist nation. Beginning of telephone call is hello. Or beginning of telephone could be the letter T. Are there synonyms for Buddhist, like Theravada or Mahayana or something like that? Or are we looking for a Buddhist nation? I don't know. 13 across, restless Hurons surge forward. Restless could be an anagram indicator, and Hurons is 6 letters. Rush on or onrush. We're not told that it's 2 letters, so I think it's probably the onrush of the crowd, the surge forward of the crowd. I think that's what it is, but that is an anagram of Hurons. I'm going to keep in mind it might be rush on, that maybe that can be a single word. 14 across, Plain part of a recipe by the sound of it. By the sound of it is probably a homophone indicator. If we have a homophone for recipe, if we have an A and then a homophone for recipe, or part of a recipe. Well, part of a recipe is step. Okay, so we're not using that single letter A. We're just part of a recipe. We start with that phrase. We're looking for a homophone of part of a recipe. Recipes are divided into steps, and a homophone of step is S-T-E-P-P-E, which is a plane, geographically speaking. 16 across, commercial stores compared to present. We need to pronounce present as present for the surface reading compared to present, but it could be a homophone of present, like gift, or something like that in terms of wordplay. Commercial could be an ad, stores, compared to, like. 2 and 4, that's what the 2 and 4 tells us. We're looking for two words. The first one is 2 letters and 4 letters. Commercial or present or present. Nope. 19 cross, couple in station dropping water filter. Couple in station dropping water filter. Dropping water could tell us to drop. Maybe we come up with a synonym for station, but we drop a single letter W from it. Our definition is either going to be couple or filter. In could be just a linking word, like an equal sign. So if couple were the crossword definition, then station dropping water filter would be our wordplay, and that's not clicking either. Okay, 21 across is python that's dropped on riding jacket. I understand. Python is a snake, or maybe could boa be a synonym of python? I understand. Maybe we're looking for a two-word phrase for I understand, like I see, but it needs to be 4 letters and 4 letters. You know, is there a word for riding jacket particularly? No. 23 across, I am in ancient Rome, at last of Greco style of wrestling. Or like a message from a time traveler here. I am in ancient Rome, at last of Greco style of wrestling. I'm witnessing the last known Greco style wrestling match in ancient Rome. I am in ancient Rome is, maybe that is the Latin word for I am, which I think is sum. Cogito ergo sum, I am. Then the last of Greco is O, and what does that give us? We put sum for I am in ancient Rome. Last of Greco is O, and we get sumo, which is a style of wrestling. The at there is throwing me a little bit. I am in ancient Rome with last of Greco, maybe, but sum is at O. It's next to it, I guess. I'll allow that. 24 across, of vital importance, repeatedly develop clarity. Repeatedly sometimes means that we're taking an anagram, but we're repeating some of the letters, and I always have difficulty with this. But develop is an anagram indicator, usually. Clarity is 3 and 4, 7 letters. Maybe if we repeatedly develop clarity, so we anagram clarity, but we're repeating some of the letters, do we get a 10-letter word that means of vital importance? Alacrity, that means like speed. Clarity. I'm not sure. I think I'll need some crossing letters for that one. 26 across, shallow sort, stuck in ooze. Ooze can be mire or swamp, maybe. Shallow. Sort by itself could be to arrange, sort blocks or something like that. We have or ilk. People of that sort, people of that ilk. can we put ilk and stick it in a synonym for ooze and get a two-word phrase that means shallow, not deep. Shallow, superficial. Nope. 27 across. Stop bracing shot. The question marks can mean different things, so I don't want to read into this that we're violating the clue, the convention of splitting the clue into two parts and using both sides. The whole thing could be both clue and wordplay. The question mark can mean that. It doesn't have to. Stop bracing shot. Bracing shot could be a bracing shot of whiskey or something like that. What would that be? A snort? A snoot? I don't know. Okay, let's look at the downs. Smacks not even 7 freeloaders. I don't understand the surface reading there. Smacks not even 7 freeloaders. Smacks not even 7 freeloaders. I don't know. Not even could tell us to take the odd letters from smacks or 7. We would get the odd letters of 7 would be SVN. The odd letters of smacks would be SAK. So that might be smacks not even. Then a synonym for 7, like a Roman numeral 7 or something. And we get a synonym for freeloaders. Or if we take the odd letters from 7 freeloaders, yeah, I don't know. 2 down, keep this South Asian holiday. Asian holiday is Tet. Okay, first I was thinking of South Asian holiday as holy, H-O-L-I. But if South can be abbreviated as S, so South Asian is capitalized there, but the capitalization doesn't matter. So S can be abbreviated as South. Asian holiday can be the festival of Tet, and we get Stet, which would be a proofreader's mark or an editor's mark to keep this as it is. Don't ignore any other markings that I put in, and just keep this as it is. Stet is what that means. 3 down, unhappily returned a grand Michener book. Returned might be a reversal indicator. Unhappily could be sad. I'm thinking something like this. Sad, a grand, either G or M. Maybe we're looking for the title of a Michener book. I've read a few of those. They're very long. 4 down, introduce boxing match around fight site. Introduce. 5 and 3. I think introduce might be the crossword definition. Something out? Something off? No. 5 down. Shrill dancehall tirade about end of record. 10 and 10. Is that enough letters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I haven't seen the numbers in parentheses used this way. Maybe we're looking for a single 10-letter word that can mean both shrill dancehall tirade about end of record and I'm not sure what that is. 10 and 10. Or does 10 refer us to 10 across? I'm not sure about that. I've never seen anything like that before. 6 down, washes back of thigh in creepy motel. Washes. The back of your thigh is your hamstring? Or it could be the letter H, the last letter of the word thigh. Okay, I think that's where we're getting this H from. Creepy motel could be the Bates Motel from the Psycho movie. So we put Bates Motel for creepy motel, and we include back of thigh in it, and we get bathes, which means washes. 8 down, improvised crazy poem, facing the other way. Crazy could be an anagram indicator for either improvised or poem. Facing the other way. It could be a reversal indicator, or maybe that's our definition here. 4 letters and 2 letters. Made up is improvised, and it has the letters from poem in it. So crazy poem facing the other way might be, well, where are we getting? We need an O as well. Mock up? Facing the other way. I made up seems like the answer to me, but I don't see how to get there with the wordplay, so I'm not going to put that in. 12 down, awkwardly reading out Beach Boys lyric. 1, 3, and 6. So 1 has to be either, the first letter has to be either I or A. I think those are the only single letter, or O maybe, as a vocative. I awkwardly a bit. No, we need an E there. I think step is right for 14 across. Beach Boys lyric. Reading out might be a home phone indicator. Not sure there. Okay. 15 down. Freaked out dad while trying to shave. Cut. Freaked out dad. Cut while trying to shave. Dad can be paw. Cut while trying to shave. Nicked. If you cut your face while you're trying to shave, which I've done many times, you nicked yourself. So paw nicked gives us panicked, freaked out. 17 down, stalemate led Doc to imitate Spooner. All right, so we're going to have to rely on, I think is there always a Spooner clue? They show up, at least, I think, once a puzzle. Spooner tells us was a British clergyman. He was famous for mixing up the first letters of phrases. The example I like to use is, instead of saying, may I show you to a seat, he would say, may I sew you to a sheet. That sort of thing. So that's going to be part of the wordplay, where we're mixing up the first letters of 2 words. Stalemate is a tie. Led, ran. Doc could be DR. To imitate Spooner. Nope. 18 down. Work hard to save theater curtain atop piano. Piano can be P on a music score. A theater curtain is a scrim. We put scrim atop P, and we get scrimp, which is to scrimp and save, to work hard to save money. 20 down. Abrupt turns by Kansas vehicles. Kansas could be the state abbreviation for Kansas, KS. Trucks are vehicles. How does that work? Abrupt can be curt. It is reversed. It turns. So that abrupt turns. Put it next to by the abbreviation for Kansas, KS, and we get trucks, which are vehicles. 22 down. Service provider uses, and is there, I think in Canada they would use trucks instead of lorries, maybe, but I think in a British cryptic we wouldn't have trucks as vehicles. You would have trucks as something else. 22 down, service provider uses leverage over time. Okay, time can be rated as T. So do we have T uses leverage, pushes, rests, something, and then we get something ST, which could be a service provider like a specialist or a priest. Yeah, prize uses leverage, as in using a crowbar. So we put prize uses leverage over T, the abbreviation for time, and we get priest, who provides a religious service. When I was trying to come up with a synonym for service provider, I thought, okay, maybe it's a religious service. 25 down, out of control, in the morning. All right. In the morning is often AM. And, oh, yeah, so we put in AM in the morning. All right, okay. And we get amok, as in run amok, out of control. All right, we've looked at every clue. We've got some things filled down here in the bottom. Let's try and get these done. At the 30-minute mark, I'm going to stop and start using hints, but I want to try and figure these out if I can. Skin deep means shallow. It's only skin deep. Ooze can be seep. Yeah, so sort, I was thinking ilk as a synonym of sort, but kind is another one. What kind of person is he? What sort of person is he? Put that in seep and we get skin deep. Can we get 12 down? That's help me, Rhonda. Nope, I don't think that's it. That's just a Beach Boys lyric that O and N made me think of. Water filter or couple. Station can be ST or STN. Maybe this is station. Then we have couple, duo or two dropping water, or dropping water can be rain. And that gives us water. Filter. Filter can be to strain something. Couple in station. Dropping water. So we're taking ST as a couple of letters in station. ST, the first two letters. I'm not sure I'm getting that wordplay correctly, but I think strain is correct. I think ST is coming from station somehow. Dropping water is rain. And the synonym is, the crossword definition is filter. Awkwardly, I think might be the definition. One, three. What's the three-letter word here that has E as a second letter? Amount? Is the last word? No, I'm not getting that one. 24 across, of vital importance, critically. Critical or critically has all the letters from clarity, with some of them repeated. I think that's what it is. Yeah, I think we develop clarity with some repetition, repeating some of the letters. We get critically, of vital importance. Yeah, okay. Stop bracing shot. Stop. No. About 21 across. Python that's dropped on writing jacket. I understand. Is there a cape, like a cape boa, cape something that is a type of python? Jacket could be cape, maybe? Not getting that. Okay, 17 down. Stalemate led Doc to imitate Spooner. maybe the definition is to imitate Spooner. We have a word for tiemate, for stalemate. It is leading dock, maybe MD or some other, or DR. No. What about here? Oh, that's that 1010, and I don't understand. Shrill dance hall tirade about end of record. End of record could be the letter D. Not seeing that. Awkwardly reading out Beach Boys lyric. I know a lot of Beach Boys lyrics. I used to listen to them a lot when I was younger. I think we're taking a well-known Beach Boys lyric, and that's part of our wordplay, and we're getting a synonym for awkwardly, or awkwardly reading out. Man, it's just not coming to me. Beginning of telephone call with Buddhist nation. What about 7 across? Dutch River. Amstel is a Dutch river. How do we get that? The dam on the Amstel is the Amsterdam. Dutch River in programs telecast. This is a hidden. Okay, look at the words programs telecast. AMSTEL are in there. So in programs telecast is the name of a Dutch river. I often fail to look for these kinds of clues. I've got kind of a mental blind spot about them. A Grand Michener book. I'm trying to think of Michener titles. Alaska is one. How is that unhappily returned a grand? Unhappily, alas. Oh, grand can be K. 1,000 can be K. I always forget that. I always put M or G for grand or the Roman numeral, but K works there. Unhappily returned a grand, a K, and the last is unhappily. Okay, that does work. 1,000 scattered around university location in Africa. 5 and 5, South Sudan fits, and it has a U in it. Let's see if I can figure that out. 1,000, scattered is an anagram indicator for thousands. We need to add another U, so we scatter thousands around U for university, and we get South Sudan, a location in Africa. Smacks not even. Smacks could be, smooches. Kisses. Smacks could be a synonym for kisses or smooches. So that could be our crossword definition. Not even 7. Freeloaders are smoochers. Not even 7. Does that tell us to remove an R from... I'm not understanding this wordplay. I think it's right. Smooches is a synonym of both... I'm going to smooch this off. Oh, a smoocher are freeloaders. I think this is right. Beginning of telephone call with Buddhist nation. Thailand is a Buddhist nation. Beginning of telephone call, hail, with, and. They go together, they are with each other, so black and white, black with white. Okay, Thailand, yes, all right. This now, because we've got I, maybe it is a Beach Boys lyric. I get around. Round, round, get around, I get around, yeah, get around, round, round, I get around. That is a Beach Boys lyric. Reading out. Awkwardly is an anagram indicator, did not consider that. So we take reading out, we consider it awkwardly, we anagram it to get a Beach Boys lyric, I get around. 8 down. Improvised crazy poem facing the other way. Poem could be ode. Made do. You made do, you improvised. We've got poem facing the other way right here. Crazy is mad. Crazy, mad, poem facing the other way, ode spelled backwards, and we get made do for improvised. Okay, we're just about at the 30-minute mark. Let me see if I can get some of these before I start revealing things. Alarming changes, barely adequate. Yes, I think we are anagramming alarming to get a synonym for barely adequate. It's just not coming to me. Introduce. A ring is a fight site. A bout is a boxing match. And to bring something out, like a product, is to introduce it. It does end in out. I thought that might be the ending, but I couldn't quite figure it out. Marginal. Marginal means barely adequate. That is an anagram of alarming. Okay, there we go. Commercial stores compared to present. Stores could be ST, maybe. Compared to, like, I think this is a cape something. I don't understand the 10-10 here. The wordplay doesn't give me anything to think about. I don't know this Spooner clue. Okay, so we've got, I think I'm going to have to reveal some of these. Let's reveal 5 down and figure out what is going on with that. I'm going to reveal the word. That's 1. Discordant. All right, that means shrill. Dance hall tirade. It could be a rant. Tirade is a rant about end of record. About COD? Or is disc a record? I'm going to have to think, after I watch this video, or after I finish this video, I'm going to think about this one and see if I can figure out the wordplay. I don't think I can figure it out here. Let me know in the comments if you know what's going on there. So that's one reveal. Commercial stores compared to present. And I understand, or Python. Let's try revealing. Yeah, let's just reveal this one. Copy that. I understand. Is this Python? That's dropped. See some of the letters from Python. I also see that here. Copy that is I understand. Where's the writing jack? Okay, I don't know that. Okay, so that's 2 reveals, and I don't understand the wordplay of this one either. Commercial stores compared to present. At hand. The products that are at hand are products of commercials. They are the stores that of goods you can sell commercially. I'm not sure about that. I don't understand the wordplay of that one either. Okay. a dead. There's a stalemate that ends in dead. Is it headline becoming deadline or something like that? Not sure about that one. Stop racing shot. Okay, I think we're going to have to reveal this one. I think this is my fourth one. Deadlock. That's what I'm trying to think of. Lead dock. If you took that lead dock, as Spooner would say, he would say dead lock. He would pronounce lead dock as deadlock, and that means stalemate. Okay, and then our last one here, to bracing shot. No. It is scotch, a shot of whiskey. Oh, and to stop something can be to scotch it, to scratch it. Okay, so I think I did 5 reveals. I'll go back and count to make sure I've got that. And then I've got a system in mind to give myself a score for this one. All right, and so but a lot of the ones I revealed, I still don't understand the wordplay. So I'm going to have to watch this again and give myself some time to think about it. Discordant means shrill. I get that. Copy that means I understand. Yeah, I get that. I think I figured out the spoonerism here. Lead dock becomes deadlock. Still no quite. Doesn't it need a homophone indicator? Maybe, I'm not sure about that. Scotch, I probably should have been able to figure out. All right, so there's our apprentice class for this week. It's hit and miss. Sometimes I do very well on this. Sometimes I don't do very well at all. I have done one of these, a Weekender Cryptic, with no hints before, but I wasn't recording that one. That was a while ago, so I guess it kind of depends on whether or not you're on the same wavelength with the constructor for that particular week. All right, let me know in the comments how you did, and if you can explain some of the wordplay that I was unable to get. I'd really appreciate that. And otherwise, please join me every Tuesday for this Cryptic Crossword Apprentice class. You can join me every day for regular crossword content. Thanks for joining me. Please come back for more puzzles and games, and I'll see you next time.